What's going on, baseball fans? How are we doing? So I don't just have one story for you, I have two stories for you. Let's go talk about it. Okay, so here's the first story. The San Francisco Giants are interested in Starling Marte. So recently we heard about Starling Marte being connected with the Yankees, the Phillies, and the Astros, but now it's looking like, according to Craig Mish of the Miami Herald, the Giants are becoming a key team to watch for Starling Marte. So Miami and Marte recently did have an end to their contract extension talks. The rumor was around $30 million for over 3 years. Craig Mish said it could have been even more than that, but it's looking like Starling Marte turned those down, and the Marlins are moving on, and it's looking like Marte is going to be moved in a trade. So let's take a look at the Giants really quick. As of right now, the Giants leading the NL West, 59-34 on the year. Who would have thought the Giants would be doing this? The Dodgers and the Padres were the stories of the offseason, but the Giants have just been rolling this year, doing very well lately, and sitting comfortably in first place, 2 games ahead of the Dodgers. If we take a look at the Giants as of right now, so their outfield consists of Mike Yastrzemski out in right. They have Alex Dickerson out in left, and Steven Dugar out in center. So Dugar, he has been actually playing a lot better as of late. Overall on the year, he's hitting .277 with 6 home runs. He has a .354 on base, a 122 WRC plus. He's playing good defense out there too, a 2.4 defense on Fangraphs. So where I think maybe the Giants could improve is maybe in left. Alex Dickerson is not doing so hot out in left field this year, only hitting .233, only a .307 on base, 8 home runs. So you could trade for a Starling Marte, maybe put him out in left, or you could move Dugar to left, or wherever it may be. So I think Starling Marte would actually be a really good fit for the San Francisco Giants. If we take a look, as of right now, hitting .288 on the year, 7 home runs, a .389 on base. He did miss some time, had some injuries there, but he's been very good in the time that he's played. One thing I want to take note of is he has a 4.8 base running on Fangraphs. If we actually go take a look really quick at the San Francisco Giants, where they rank in terms of base running, one area they could improve in, oh, whoops, I'm not on the team stats, silly me, here we go. So one area they could improve in is base running. Guys, base running is an underrated thing when it comes to the game of baseball. You got to run the bases, and the Giants, as of right now, only ranked 25th on the year, a -6.9. So he would definitely give them a boost in that department. So what could a trade maybe for Starling Marte look like? Well, I have one trade here, a couple of guys going back to the Marlins. So Starling Marte going to the Giants, he has a value of $13.4 million. Going back to the Marlins, I have Canario. As of right now, Alexander Canario is their number 9 prospect in single A right now. And I also have Santos. Santos, as of right now, Gregory Santos is their number 13 prospect. So he is major league ready. If we take a look at the numbers this year, he hasn't done very hot with the Giants so far over 2 innings. He's gotten kind of shelled a little bit. So maybe the Giants maybe want to move on from him. Maybe the Marlins will take him on. He has a pretty good scouting report, 65 fastball, a 55 slider. Hey, the Marlins, they develop pitching very well. Look at that pitching this year with the Marlins. A lot of good young pitching. Maybe they can do something with a Gregory Santos here. Maybe they find something intriguing about him. But if it's not Santos, you can definitely swap in another guy instead. I think Canario would be a good centerpiece of this. It's not one of their top prospects. I don't think Starling Marte is going to be a guy that's going to garner a top prospect. But I feel like that's a good range. And, if someone else, maybe you could put in a Toribio instead. But as of right now, this is kind of the values that you're looking at with a Starling Marte. I think he would be a really good fit for the San Francisco Giants, especially in that tight NL West. And since we're in the National League West, let's talk about the Padres. The reports are that the Padres are willing to exceed the luxury tax line at the trade deadline. Let's take a look at these Padres. This is a good team this year. In third place, I mean, that NL West is so tough this year. The Padres most likely are going to end up with a wild card spot, and God forbid they don't just fall off the face of the planet. But as of right now, they're 55-41, 5.5 back in the division. They are holding on to a wild card spot. So for the Padres, they've been adding guys left and right, going back to the trade deadline last year. If we take a look at their luxury tax right now, or their payroll as of right now, they're at $204.1 million. So a little under $6 million under that luxury tax line. So Where I think the Padres could improve is starting pitching. As of right now, they rank 13th on the year in starting pitching. For the Padres, let's take a look at this rotation really quick. So they've had some injuries. They've had, Yu Darvish lately with the hip. Dinelson Lamet has had troubles with the arm. So as of right now, they're kind of going with a 4-man rotation. Also, Ryan Weathers having a foot problem too. And then also, Chris Paddock has been up and down. Blake Snell, he's had his struggles with the Padres this year. So for the Padres, they could maybe use another starting pitcher. As of right now, Yu Darvish is looking to be okay. Joe Musgrove is having a good season. But man, oh man, if they could add one more guy to this starting rotation, I think they would be extremely dangerous in the playoffs. But let's take a look at a couple other guys maybe they could add. Maybe they could add a bullpen guy. Maybe a Craig Kimbrell. He has a decent amount of money coming to him for this year. And you could exercise his team option for next year. Hey, why not? I think a bullpen guy could be pretty good. They have been linked to someone like a Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo having a very good offensive season. But like I said, for the Padres, I feel like they need to add some starting pitching. And hey, if they're looking to go over that luxury tax line, they need some starting pitching. The guy that kind of checks off both of those boxes is Max Scherzer. If you can add a Max Scherzer to this rotation, could you imagine going into the playoffs? Game 1, Max Scherzer. Game 2, Yu Darvish. Game 3, Joe Musgrove. And then, then you got these other guys who can step up for you, like a Blake Snell, Chris Paddock, Game 4, so be it. This Padres team would be extremely dangerous for the playoffs. So, Max Scherzer, if you can add him, I think that all but seals the deal for you. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think Starling Marte would be a good fit for the San Francisco Giants? Do you think another team should jump in on him? Do you think the Giants should look elsewhere at the trade deadline? Do you think Max Scherzer would be a good fit for the San Diego Padres? What do you think the Padres should do at the trade deadline now that it looks like they're going to be okay with going over that luxury tax line? But that's all I have for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.